GDP numbers out this morning, and
Punky.
boy, they're not good. There's nothing going on in this country.
No growth.
There's just no growth.
No growth.
And they downsized last first quarter too to 0.8%.
Yeah, anemic is the word.
0.8% GDP last first quarter.
Yeah.
Now the second quarter they said what, 2%?
Yeah, there's no growth. Because there's no support and there's no incentive. So
there's nothing.
There's nothing coming off of Ronald Reagan's. When Ronald Reagan took office, right, he had 10% unemployment rate, and all those trickle-down tax cuts that he put in with the help of Stockman there. That's what encouraged corporations to establish themselves or to reestablish themselves in the United States. That actually boosted corporate revenue. Now, granted, he too, like this president, doubled the national debt in a relatively short order. But since this president took office in 2009, we had a $10.3 trillion national debt. And now on his way out the door, we're exactly where I said we'd be at $21 trillion before he leaves office. So we have a budget deficit of $500+ billion a year. We have a trade deficit approaching $1 trillion a year, nearly $800 billion.
Wow.
So those two elements combined put us on the path to destruction. And that these people could stand up there on national television and say, America's great now. I don't know what you're talking about. It's the delusional debtor. And that is exactly what they represent. Delusional debtors. They actually believe that they can continue to run these deficits with no impact. There's a thing called a debt virus. And right now, we're at the lowest interest rates in history, effectively. And our annual cost of interest is $250 billion. If interest rates double, our costs double. Wow. And that means if interest rates go to 2.5% or 3%.
Our yearly cost would double.
Double, yeah.
Wow.
And if interest rates go to 6%,
wow,
they quadruple. So that $250 billion interest payment becomes $1 trillion a year in interest.
So what's a Donald?
What's
a Donald to do with that?
Yeah, well, we're only collecting $800 billion in income tax or so. So when 100% of everything we collect in income tax is necessary just to pay the interest on the debt, then the debt virus starts to overcome us. So we can not only not pay principal, we can barely make the interest payments. You better boost revenues in this environment, and if you don't, you're doomed. Now, I can't imagine people say to me, oh, well, America has never repudiated its debt. Now, I differ on that because of the silver certificates and the gold certificates, but imagine a repudiation of treasury bonds or a moratorium on treasury debt where it's just not paid. Oh, my goodness. Then the cost of interest would skyrocket. No one would want to loan any money to the federal government. We'd be like Iceland again. Mm-hmm. So this is a critical point. And there is that desire to not pay the debt. And then there's the reality that you have an inability to pay the debt. So that's the debt virus. And we are in the throes of it now. It's not like, it's something in the distance. It is on us right now.
I wonder how Hill and Billary are going to run on that record.
They're not.
On that record.
They're not going to.
So what are they going to run on?
Well, that we could continue to do this. That this is not a problem.
Well, that's what I mean. That's all they got, right?
Yeah, that's what.
all they got.
What problem? It's not a problem.
Not a problem.